This is TWiT. Is Nintendo still a thing?
Yeah, it's going great.
So.
It won E3 in my opinion. It destroyed it.
It won E3?
Oh yeah. I mean, but you got to realize right now the Switch is mid-cycle. It's in the sweet spot. I mean, it's year 3. This is where everything coalesces into a great platform. All your first-party efforts in development, all the third parties are on board, particularly if it's successful like the Switch is. Nintendo is getting third-party support with Switch that it hasn't had since the GameCube. So
I knew this when my kid said, this 128 gig SD card you gave me is too small. Do you have anything bigger?
Yeah. Nintendo brought the games to E3. It literally brought 4 bangers, like 4 games that are probably going to sell close to 10 million or more by the time it's all said and done. It announced a new Zelda at E3. These other guys are wrapping up the generation, and we're kind of in this transition period between saying goodbye to PlayStation 4 and saying hello to PlayStation 5. Which is another reason why Sony wasn't at E3. It didn't have a lot of games to show because they're saving them up for the big splash
Next
for
year.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So Nintendo's just like, here it is. Like, we need you guys to buy games. We're not worried about our next platform yet. And so it pretty much won E3 by default, but it did have a good show.
I think it's really interesting to see the kind of more traditional Nintendo games like Zelda and Mario, and then The Witcher. On a Switch. The Witcher. Wow.
Nintendo fans have been begging for that for like 5 years. I mean,
Resident Evil. Oh my God.
The Switch is a real departure for Nintendo as far as the support they've gotten from third parties.
It's a real gaming platform. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great for indie games too. It's the best indie game platform bar none in my opinion.
What? Why is that?
They have got a ton of support for indie games. They have this Nindies initiative that they have actually put a lot of support behind and a lot of promotional support behind these independent games. And it's just a delightful platform to play some of these smaller titles on because you can play it on the go. So it's a marriage of great form factor with content, and you can play some spectacular experiences on this thing. And there's so many of them.
Lots of exclusive indie games for Switch now too. It used to be an indie game would be announced and it would always be announced for PC and PlayStation 4. For 4 years straight, it was that way. And then the Switch came, and now all those games are either Switch exclusive for like a few months, or it's PC and Switch first, and then the other platforms to follow. So indie developers anecdotally have been saying that their games sell far more on Switch than they do on other console platforms. So it's just been kind of a perfect storm.
I'll be darned.
Yep.
It's funny because before the Switch came out, everybody was saying it's over for Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, the Wii U.
Every generation since SNES, they said that for Nintendo.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true.
They have a core of fans that are strong enough to get Nintendo through its rough patches. And it also has just billions and billions of dollars in cash. Nintendo would have to have like 3 or 4 complete and utter failure generations before it would even be in danger of going out of business. So
I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is sitting on a mountain of cash in Japan. Absolutely.